let's take a look at some of the changes that FileMaker has made to the layout mode environment in FileMaker 17. So I have a custom app here, and I'm going to go into, first I'm going to display the toolbar, and then I'm going to go into layout mode, and I'll bigger it up. And you may have or may not have noticed something that happened when I went into layout mode. So let's do this one more time. So I'll go into browse mode, then I'll go back into layout mode, and you'll see those. You'll probably notice those wings on either side that jut out as soon as you go into layout mode. Well, the right wing that you see here is the inspector. So it has all the same stuff that the prior versions had, same thing right here, except for it's docked to the right side of the screen. Now, you can open up another inspector if you wish by going to the View menu, go to Inspectors and New Inspectors, and that new inspector you create is a floating inspector, right? So you can kind of duplicate the old sort of environment, at least on the right side, by opening up a new inspector and by going over to the upper right and turning off the pane, the right pane. So I click there, and now I'm kind of back to the way it used to be, right? I'm going to go back to the new way here and have it docked. In fact, you can not only turn off the right one, but you can turn off both of them. So if you don't want to see any of this stuff, you can certainly turn both these off. I believe you'll find these panes that are docked to both the right and left a little startling for folks like myself, who've been developing in FileMaker since the early 90s. However, after working it for a while, I found that it's a great way to have all my palettes organized. There's nothing floating in front of anything. I can switch different monitor sizes. I can work on a laptop or a desktop, and I don't have to go hunting around for layout palettes, inspector palettes, anything like that. And I don't have to move them because they're in the way. It's a very nice way to organize the layout environment. Now, I talked a little bit about the right pane here. Let's talk about a little bit of the left pane here. So it's broken into two tabs here, two sections. If I click on the Objects tab, which I have set as the default, FileMaker, by the way, remembers whether you selected objects or fields based on what you had last, and that works across sessions. So if I close out a FileMaker and open it up again, you're going to see the last place that I had it, regardless of what file you open. It's sort of saved to the client if you're using the either desktop, Windows, or Mac. So the objects, same old stuff here. Same sort of things you can do that you used to be able to do. We'll talk about modifying groups, the new features in FileMaker 17 in another video. But by and large, it works the same way. The new functionality that you'll see, or the different functionality rather, is in this Fields section. Okay, so this replaces the floating field picker. So again, this allows you to create fields and modify fields as long as they are attached to the table that's attached to the table occurrence that your layout's attached to. But you can also pick other fields from other tables and table occurrences rather, and you can drag them over to this layout. I can put that right there. See, drag it over, and if it's attached to the table occurrence that I'm looking at here, directly attached, I can go ahead and I can modify its calculation, or whether it's a summary. I can create new fields. I can change their placement. I can change their control style and their labels and what have you. So this kind of quickly sums up the changes FileMaker has made to sort of modernize the layout mode environment in FileMaker 17.